we are working with both biological and bioengineering. And the biological part of we successfully developed product which we are currently applying for after that it's a combination of whatever microgram this product will also all yeah, immediate state. Actually,
Ladies and gentlemen, I would once again like to let you all know that this is the live stream of the inauguration of Spark Hub as well as for the exhibition. And like said earlier, Spark Hub is a space for professional growth, aspirations, research and knowledge for students, startups, scientists and entrepreneurs. Spark Hub is an inclusive physical and virtual space where people feel safe to experiment, share, and learn, which is aimed at upskilling individuals from students to professionals through mentorship, training, and collaboration. Encouraging dreams and bold ambitions, whether it's a student's career goal or an entrepreneur startup idea, Spark Hub supports scientific inquiry, applied research, and innovation that can translate into products, solutions, and enterprises. It is a place where knowledge-sharing ecosystem that supports peer-to-peer learning, mentorship, and cross-domain exploration. Spark Hub reflects the first spark of ideas, curiosity, and ambition, nurturing it until it grows into innovations, startups, or research projects, providing skill-building, idea incubation, and exposure to entrepreneurship and innovation, offering mentorship, networking, access to labs, market linkages, and collaborative support. Also, facilitating research, commercialization, industry partnership, and collaborative innovation for scientists, and not forgetting while supporting business ideation, scaling, and connecting them with talent, research, and funding networks. Spark Hub signifies a central, vibrant place where all of these stakeholders connect, collaborate, and curate create together, making it a true melting point for innovation, learning, and enterprise. Also, ladies and gentlemen, to build a thriving entrepreneurial culture in the Northeast, NIELIT Kohima recently launched the Northeast Startup Catalyst Program, which is a structured startup skilling and acceleration initiative designed to empower early-stage ventures with business acumen, mentorship, funding readiness, and national ecosystem exposure. As a result, 25 plus startups have already been created and incubated through this initiative, many of which are solving grassroots problems with scalable, tech-enabled solutions. With participation from leading incubators and experts across India, the program reflects NIELIT's commitment to not only digital skilling, but also innovation-led development. NIELIT Kohima is also the proud host of the National Conference on Cybercrime, Digital Forensics and Intelligence, a flagship event that convenes national experts, law enforcement, and industry to deliberate on cybersecurity challenges and innovations. After the successful 2024 edition, preparations are already underway for the next edition of NCCDFI later this year, further solidifying NIELIT's role in shaping India's security-resilient future. Sir, Director, and then Felicitation. No other changes. Okay. Because I have to ask you.
Okay, I'll be standing there.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, as our distinguished guests along with the dignitaries are arriving, I would request all of us to kindly stand and greet them with honor. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I, Nufu Iyer, on behalf of NIELIT Kohima, would like to take this time and welcome all of you to Innovation Any Week, Tech Edge and Digital Transformation. This event is organized by the National Institute of Electronics and Information Technology, Kohima, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India, in collaboration with Department of Information Technology and Communication, Government of Nagaland, and Startup Nagaland, Department of Industries and Commerce. Ladies and gentlemen, with our dignitaries on the dais, as well as our director, the host of this event, we will now proceed with the order of program. This event is a flagship event hosted by NIELIT under the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. This platform will bring together senior government officials, leadership, startup founders, industry leaders, investors, educators, and young innovators to catalyze the innovation and digital transformation journey of the Northeast region. This program features Demo Day, where 25 startups from all 8 Northeastern states will graduate and present innovations across sectors, which are agri-tech, health tech, cybersecurity, green energy, and cloud solutions. A high-level government AI and cybersecurity track to equip senior officials with insights on emerging tech applications in governance. A startup showcase and joint pitch arena where our cohort founders will pitch to a jury comprising government, industry, and ecosystem leaders. A student pitchathon celebrating the spirit of youth-led innovation. We are honored to have with us, ladies and gentlemen, Shri S. Krishnan, Secretary, MeitY, Government of India, as well as Dr. M.M. Tripathi, Director General and Vice Chancellor, NIELIT. And an esteemed lineup of speakers, jury members, and trainers from Google, TCS, Vignan DBI, ACIC, IIT Dhanpat, The Logical Indian, Thrive Living, and several startup founders and policy experts. We thank you for joining us in this celebration of technology, talent, and transformation, and invite you to be a part of movement shaping the future of Northeast India. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now take this time to felicitate our dignitaries present here along with our resource person. Starting off, I would like to request our Director NIELIT, L. Lanuapang, to kindly honor the presence of our Director General, Dr. Matan Mohan Tripathi, NIELIT and Vice Chancellor of NIELIT. Dr. M.M. Tripathi is the Director General of NIELIT, an autonomous scientific society under MeitY, Government of India. He has made significant contributions to academia, research, and public service, and was the first Vice Chancellor of NIELIT, deemed to be university. Dr. Tripathi has mentored numerous students and contributed to cutting-edge research in electronics and information technology. Sir, we are honored to have your presence in this event. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also honored to have the presence of Dr. G. Hukuka Sema, Indian Revenue Service Commissioner and Secretary for Information Technology and Communication, Government of Nagaland. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Director, sir.
Good morning to all of you. First and foremost, let me apologize for my inability to be present in
Next, I would like
person
to take
in
this
Kohima
time
for
to
this very
felicitate
important
by
event.
the NIELIT officials, Kohima, to Dr. Yumnan Jayanta Singh, who is the Executive Director of NIELIT, Imphal, Government of India. Ladies and gentlemen, we are very fortunate to have all of our research scholars, research person, and our dignitaries present here on this very event. Ladies and gentlemen, in the next order, we have Dr. Satya, who is the Additional Director of MeitY, Government of India. I would like to request the NIELIT officials to kindly felicitate. Dr. Satya, Additional Director, MeitY, Government of India. Next, we are honored to also have Mr. C.G. Ayo Joseph, who is the Deputy Director, MeitY, Government of India. Ladies and gentlemen. And now, to felicitate our keynote speakers on this very event, I would like to call upon Shri Vaibhav Jain to kindly come forward. Shri Vaibhav Jain is a two-time entrepreneur, angel investor, startup mentor, and host of the Dream Chasers Tribe podcast. A seasoned tech sales leader, he's held key roles at Oracle, Microsoft, VMware, and SAP. Today, at Google, he partners with startup founders, CXOs, and VCs, helping them scale with AI and cloud innovation. Thank you, sir, so much for your presence. Next, we will honor Shri Amrit Mishra, who heads the startup and VC relations for Yoda Data Centers. In the past, Amit has worked with known Indian conglomerates like Reliance Jio and Naukri.com. He has worked extensively in the Indian market entry space, and he was the first country manager for international companies like F6S UK and Sansan Japan. Thank you, sir. Next, we have Shri Santosh Kumar, who is the director at SPJIMR and national chairman of AIMA Young Leaders Council. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a celebrated mentor with various startup programs, including Stanford Seed and Startup Chile, and has received International Innovation Awards. Santosh Kumar is also an endurance cyclist, having completed over 1 lakh kilometers and participated in 4 international championships. Thank you, sir. Next, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to honor Ms. Tulika Pandey, who is Scientist G and Group Coordinator, MeitY, Government of India. Although not here in person, we acknowledge her contribution to the program. Ladies and gentlemen, we now move forward to felicitate Professor Soumya Singh. I would request you to kindly come forward, ma'am. Professor Soumya Singh is the Director, ACIC IIT ISM, Foundation of Chairperson, Career Development Cell at IIT ISM Dhanpad. Next, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to request Godfrey Matthias to kindly come forward. Godfrey Matthias is the Quantum Computing Evangelist and Strategic Collaboration Specialist at Coin Academics, TCS. Ladies and gentlemen, next we have Kartik Babanar, who is the Strategic Advisor, Cybersecurity and Public Policy, Ex-Director, Cybersecurity COE, Cybersecurity Government of Karnataka, Reserve Bank Information Technology Private Limited, leader. Ladies and gentlemen, next we are honored to have Shika Patak, who is the Technology Policy Consultant, XLSEG, Cybersecurity COE, Cybersecurity Government of Karnataka, RIBIT. And ladies and gentlemen, to save the time that we have, I would like to call upon Nongotang Izang, who is the founder of Homeland Allergies, ex-Google. Sir, you can kindly come forward. And also, we have coming up, we have Paritosh Sharma, who is the founder of Shunya AI. Also in our lineup of resource person, we have Yanfo Kikon, who is the founder of Clay Enterprise Westside Dimapur and Kikonic Tech Private Limited, Piconic. Next, we have Sandeep Sandesan, who is the CEO of Vignan DBI. Also, I would like to ask Sir Abhishek Kumar, co-founder of Thrive Living, to kindly come forward. Next, we have Kshitij Reshaboyna, who is the media specialist of Google Ads at Google. Ladies and gentlemen, in the next order, we have Anubhav Tiwari, who is the Chief Innovation Officer at NIELIT MeitY, Government of India. Next, ladies and gentlemen, we have Anurag Mazumdar, who is the co-founder of the Logical Indian. Ladies and gentlemen, up next we have Abhishek Khoshal, who is the co-founder of Sixth Sense AI. Ladies and gentlemen, we also have Gunit Singh Sethi, who is the co-founder of Kaitoko. Yeah. Sure. For the order of felicitation, the last resource person that we have is Anish Batra, who is the co-founder of Kaitoko as well. I would like to take this time to thank all of our resource persons and our dignitaries for gracing this event and making it a success. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now move forward to the welcome address by none other than the Director of NIELIT Kohima, Shri L. Lanuapang, Director.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, senior government officials, my dear friends and colleagues. At the very outset, let me begin by thanking our Almighty God for granting us this beautiful opportunity to gather here in good health and purpose for the Innovation Any Week, DEC Edge in Digital Transformation, being held from 26 to 28 May 2025 at NIELIT Kohima. It is indeed a great honor and privilege to welcome you all to this important event that brings together policy, innovation, partnership for the advancement of the Northeastern region. I extend a special welcome to Shri S. Krishnan I, Secretary, MeitY, Government of India, whose visionary leadership continues to guide the digital transformation journey across India, especially in the Northeast. While he is unable to be with us physically, his presence is deeply felt through his consistent support. I am delighted to welcome none other than my DG, Professor Dr. M.M. Tripathi sir, the Honorable Vice Chancellor and Director General of NIELIT, Government of India, whose dynamic and visionary leadership has propelled NIELIT to remarkable heights. Through his tireless efforts and unwavering commitment, NIELIT has evolved from being primarily a skilling body to become a team-to-be university, the first in the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India, now playing a leading role in research, innovation, and national capacity building. Thank you, sir, for being with us today. I would also like to welcome Dr. G. Hukuka Sima, the Commissioner Secretary, Information Technology and Communication, Government of Nagaland, our valued state partner and supporter of every digital initiative undertaken in the state of Nagaland. I would also like to welcome Ms. Tulika Pandey, Scientist G and Group Coordinator MeitY, who is joining us virtually and whose consistent support and guidance and proactive facilitation have been instrumental in enabling NIELIT to secure and implement several impactful projects, especially across the northeastern region. I would like to welcome our industry partners and experts on the ties, Shri Vaibhav Jain, Venture Capitalist and Startup Relationship, Google India, Shri Amit Mishra, Venture Capitalist and Startup Relationship, Yota Data, Shri Santosh Kumar, National Chairman, YLC AIMA, Dr. Jayanda, Executive Director, NIELIT Infal, our industry leaders and keynote speakers, senior officials from MeitY, Nagaland Startup Media Fraternity, and host presence adds tremendous value and insight to this event. And most warmly, I welcome my colleagues of directors from NIELIT, any state, officers from NIELIT from all, any state, 8 any state are presenting here today with us, whose partnership and collaboration continue to strengthen our collective impact in the region. We are deeply honored to host you all here in Nagaland, a land for its vibrant festival, rich culture, and warm hospitality. Beyond its scenic beauty, Nagaland today is also a land of opportunity, where digital empowerment, entrepreneurship, and innovations are steadily reshaping its future. NIELIT has always believed in the inclusiveness and impact-driven collaboration. This 3D event has been thoughtfully designed as an inclusive and collaborative platform, bringing together government officials, industry leaders, entrepreneurs, startups, students, and youth from across the northeastern state. This day also marks the celebration and successful completions of the journey of 25 startups mentored and nurtured by NIELIT NE centers in the northeastern state. These startups are a testament to NIELIT commitment not only to skilling and education, but also to promoting entrepreneurship and innovation across the region. Supported by MeitY and in partnership with the Department of IT&C, Government of Nagaland, Startup Nagaland under Department of Industry and Commerce, and this initiative reflects our collective commitment to building a digitally inclusive and innovation-driven Northeast. Once again, I warmly welcome all of you. Let us make Innovation Any Week 2025 a true turning point, one where we celebrate innovation, foster collaboration, and take meaningful steps towards our shared goal of a digitally empowered India with a special focus on the northeastern region. Wishing you all a pleasant and meaningful stay in Kohima. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Director of NIELIT, Shri L. Lanuapang, Director. With his leadership and guidance, NIELIT Kohima has definitely reached a far off and good spot here in the Northeast region especially. Ladies and gentlemen, there will now be a little change in the order of program that we have. Next coming up will be the address by Ms. Tulika Pandey, who is Scientist G and Group Coordinator, MeitY Government of India, who will be joining us virtually.
Yes, you are.
So the first thing I have to say is, in Nagamese we say Kupnalam, and I would like to greet all my friends there in Kohima with their language of good morning, and that's Kupnalam. And I also acknowledge each one of you. I'm able to see the Director General NIELIT, Dr. Tripathi there, and each one of you dignitaries. It's my pleasure to see such an excellent, what should I say, startup even there. And I was able to see all the different innovations that were being showcased, and I saw that the entire team, you have really appreciated the kind of technologies that has come in. I would not like to take too much time, but the only two things that I feel is very important is to have, to have pride in our culture, to have pride in our language, to have pride in our abilities, and to understand that we are the ones who can solve our problems. And we should acknowledge that technology is a very good friend of human if we know how to appropriately deploy it. And I was very keen to understand. There was some T-shirt being shown. I was wondering what was the technology in that has come about. I did see some of the products that were being shown. I've seen the product where they were talking of a walking stick for the blind. They were also showing some other tools. Now, these are very interesting innovations that have come about. I would like to understand what is the very original innovations that will stay with the Northeast. And we would like to then showcase to the world how some of these innovations can be adopted not only nationally but also globally. To me, it's very important that we all join hands and work together, and we exchange the kind of expertise that each of the different states of this Northeast has. In MeitY, we are keen to now start showcasing Northeast as our crown. And if you want to do that, we will really want you all to come forth and show us some of those very specific developments, very specific innovations that we could take around to all parts of the country, and also maybe then globally. At MeitY, we have been extending all support. We are fortunate to have a leadership like that of Dr. Tripathi, who completely commits to everything that he is putting in. It's a pleasure to see him lead a team such as Director NIELIT Kohima, Lanu Babangji. I am very impressed that he has also been able to take cybersecurity to that part of the world. There was one innovation that was being shown about biometrics from anywhere, employee attendance. The only worry that I got at that point of time was we will have to ensure that there's no security breach there. So we will have to ensure that when we are doing this connectivity and we're offering this online biometric for attendance, we will, while we are happy with the latitude, longitude, placement of the person, but then that information, if it is leaked to somebody who has bad intentions, it may cause a very different kind of a cyber attack or a cyber vulnerability, which I'm sure Lanu would understand. And therefore, whenever we are developing any product, exploiting a technology for helping citizen, we will have to parallelly completely examine the the security aspects of it. So that is only one small point. Otherwise, it is my misfortune that I'm not present amongst you all. But I really appreciate that such initiatives have started in NIELIT, and NIELIT can lead the country. MeitY acknowledges NIELIT as that body which has a presence where none other institution of MeitY is able to still make. And we will use NIELIT's presence not only for skilling, but also for research and innovation. And this is one feather in the cap for us. This event will be noted. We will try and see how to best present this event to the government, and then have many more such events. With these words, I once again congratulate Lanu Babang and Dr. Tripathi for bringing this event to Kohima and for getting so many of you all here. It was a pleasure to see that we have not just innovators and venture capitalists from the Northeast, but also from other parts of the country today. It means a lot to us. I would also like to thank each one of you for making a presence here and participating in this event. I'm sure it will go a long way for each one of us. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Ms. Tulika Pandey, Scientist G and Group Coordinator, MeitY Government of India. NIELIT Kohima would like to acknowledge her presence, although virtually. She could not come here due to some unforeseen circumstances, but we acknowledge her presence virtually. Now, for the next order of program, I would like to request our Dr. G. Hukuka Sema, IRS Commissioner and Secretary, Information Technology and Communication, to take his time.
Professor Dr. Madan Mohan Tripathi, Honorable Vice Chancellor and DG NIELIT, government officials from MeitY, eminent corporate leaders, founders and experts from various fields, industry investors, entrepreneurs, innovators and startups, government officials from different Northeast states, Director IT, Industry, Information Technology and Communication and his colleagues, Director NIELIT and his colleagues, Director Industries and Commerce and his colleagues who will be joining us in the later session, all senior government officials of the state, students, press and media, and friends. I am deeply honored and grateful to be amongst the brightest stars of the innovators and startups and business leaders and entrepreneurs gathered today to this Innovation Northeast Tech Age and Digital Transformation to ideate, promote, enhance growth and sustainable development, and also to create a better ecosystem for innovators and startups, and also to promote the cutting edge government officials how to facilitate and collaborate with the innovators and startups, and the cybersecurity and cyber safety issues for all concerns and the public at large. To this, I am very much grateful and thankful to our most respected special guest of the day who could not be present in person today, but Sri S. Krishan, Secretary MeitY, who has shown his love and affection and support for Northeast, which is evident today by bringing in a contingent of accomplished personalities from across the country and choosing Nagaland, Kohima as the host. I truly appreciate and warmly welcome all of you, and we are very proud to host you all here. The landmark event here in Kohima signifies that Northeast youths have immense potentials in IT, ITES, and service sectors. And to harness these potentials, all the stakeholders have gathered here to deliberate, to analyze, and to discuss the way forward. And I don't have any idea or any expertise to share with you all, but a few thoughts which I would like to say so that we can appreciate or we can even take further ahead. The idea of innovation is always there in the human history. From the way a mother manages how the crying baby can be comforted. We also doctors, when we don't have any other things, when the baby cries, as a pediatrician I'm saying, we put a little finger in the mouth, like the way the pacifier does, and the baby stops crying. There are many ways of innovation, and as people say that necessity is the mother of inventions. But now the other word is that innovation is the father of, like the development or other things. So I'm not into it, but what I'm saying is that innovation is with every one of us. We have to innovate, we have to adapt, and we have to change. And innovation without AI may not be sustainable because AI has the potential transformative force for both positive and negative disruptions or transformations. So, realizing the potentials of this AI, the government of India has launched India AI Mission 2024, and they have allocated a budget of 10,300 crores for AI capacity building, for building ecosystem, and also for resource and also empowering students, startups, innovators with AI and other technological infrastructure. So Nagaland and Notice in general have a lot of advantage to take from this, because I want to share this small fact that Nagaland and Notice has been contributing a lot to the digital economy, especially call centers, BPOs, and other service sectors in the country. For the last 30 years, and even now, 10% of the workforce in the BPO and call centers and service sectors are from Northeast, and compared to the size of the population that we have, it's a big, big achievement. And MeitY, along with the corporates, have seen the proven efficiency and aptitude of the Northeast talents, and also the way in which they can upskill so that they will be highly skilled and they will be able to reach the highest of the corporate ladders. Here in Nagaland also, we have found that we have been struggling a lot for industrialization. But industrialization has a lot of problems. And even for India, we have started with post-liberalization industrial policy, even Make in India. But the industrial output and then the contribution to the GDP has not been so big as expected, as desired. Service sectors have provided 50% of the GDP. So I also see the light in the tunnel for Nagaland, especially for youth employment, growth and development of Nagaland through IT, ITES, and service sectors. And this platform is in the right direction, and I hope that Nagaland will be a changed, developed Nagaland through India Mission Week and with the support of the MeitY and the corporate sectors. Here today, you will all be discussing and having case studies on all success stories across the countries. I wish the participants and the eminent personalities will focus on the primary core sectors, which requires a lot of inputs from AI and technology, especially in the areas of agriculture, horticulture, education, health, water, sanitation, environment, and many other fields, because AI has the potential to, bridge or overcome the geographical reach. AI has the potential for economic inclusions and also government efficiency, and also production capacity enhancement of our niche products, which are by default organic, and the production capacity cannot be scaled up. These are the few problems that Nagaland is facing in terms of development and growth. So during these discussions and case studies, I would like to suggest that you may kindly take up the issues which are inherently, we have inherent potentials, and you take up these inherent potentials of Nagaland, and those cases which have competitive advantages, like we have handloom, we have many organic products, and also many other things that we can think of. So if that can be discussed and deliberated upon, I think it will be a fruitful way to start with. And the government of Nagaland is very much aware of the potential transformative power of AI and technology tools, and we also like to appreciate and be grateful if you could give us the feedback on the gaps and also on the policies or course corrections which we require, or also how to make better business models or economic ecosystems for the innovators and also for the startups. So with this few, I don't think it's few, but many words, I would like to really thank you all for your patient hearing, and I wish you all engaging and enriching experience and a grand success to you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. G. Hukukasema. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we will get to hear from Shri Vaibhav Jain, VC and Startup Relationships, Google India, for his keynote address. Please take your time, sir.
Thank you. Before I start, I'd like to thank the IT Secretary, Director General, Advisor to Industries and Commerce, Government of Nagaland, IT Secretary, Government of Nagaland, MeitY, and NIELIT. Thank you so much to all for giving me this opportunity to be here and speaking to all of you. Thank you so much. Good morning to all the dignitaries on the dais, the government leaders, the NIELIT mentors, startup founders, entrepreneurs in the room, and young dreamers present here. Let me begin by saying, I'm here not just as a professional from the world of tech, but I'm here also as a fellow dreamer. I come from a very small town called MeitY in the western Uttar Pradesh. No elite network, no shortcut to success. But one thing that kept me going was my relentless belief in my dreams and the willingness to chase my dreams, step by step, city by city. And hence I started calling myself the dream chaser. From the bylanes of MeitY to the pathways of entrepreneurship, to the fast lanes of the global tech, from Oracle to Microsoft to VMware to SAP and now Google. My journey hasn't been one of privilege, but of purpose. So to every founder, every student, every young innovator here in Kohima and the 8 northeastern states, I say this: where you start doesn't define where you go. If I can do it, so can you, and possibly much better than what I did. Now, we recently would have heard in the news that India became the 4th largest economy on the planet, surpassing Japan. Our government has a vision and aspiration to be a $10 trillion economy in less than a decade. But that dream cannot and will not be successful without the contribution from the northeastern states. And I really mean it when I say it. For decades, there were challenges. There were issues with connectivity and infrastructure in the region, but I think that's changing rapidly. Under the guidance of the Government of India and the several state governments here, I see roads are getting connected to each and every state within the region. They're connecting hills to the highways. The railways are connecting cities to commerce. And the airports, the new airports that are coming up are actually promoting tourism and trade. Now, this isn't just construction. It is capacity building at scale. And it is turning a geography into an opportunity. In the same breath, I must also say, you can continue to build roads, airports, railways, factories, but the real foundation of growth is human capital. And here I must call out the vision and the visionary leadership of MeitY and NIELIT for setting up dozens of training centers in the region to promote the upskilling of the local youth here. Now, this is not just skilling India. This is actually empowering Bharat. And if I were to talk about the private sector, I was watching the Investor Summit in Delhi a few days ago, our Northeast. I could see a very encouraging response from our corporate biggies as well. From the Reliance, They committed about 75,000 crores for the region, to Adani committing more than 50,000 crores, to Tata's committing several thousand crores again and setting up a semiconductor plant in the region and investing about 27,000 odd crores, to Vedantas of the world. Every single large corporate we see today is coming to the region and investing in the region. So the message is loud and clear. The Northeast is no longer emerging. It's arrived on India's innovation map. Now, what makes Northeast so unique, right? And that's a perspective as an outsider for me, because I have not visited the region earlier. This is my first visit, right? Its strength doesn't lie just in its beauty, but in its identity, right? Handicrafts that tell stories about from the old centuries. Ecotourism with a conscience. Organic farming that respects the earth. And tribal knowledge systems with great wisdom. Music, sports, and community that inspire the world. This is India's most authentic soft power. Now imagine scaling this power with technology. We are living in times where technology is a great equalizer. You don't have to be in Bangalore or Delhi or Mumbai or maybe in Silicon Valley in the US to be building for the globe. You can do it right here sitting in the northeastern states. And if I were to give you some examples from artificial intelligence, since we all have seen the boom of artificial intelligence the last 2 years, and this time it's here to stay and solve some real world problems. Now, talking about handicraft maybe, what if a weaver in Majoli, Assam can digitize mishing textile patterns using AI to preserve them and share them with the global design houses? What if in Kohima right here, GenAI can fuse tribal designs with contemporary fashion ideas, helping artisans appeal to a wider audience globally? An art collective in Shillong, in Meghalaya, can possibly use GenAI to recreate oral folk tales into interactive digital stories for the children. What if generative AI can actually help entrepreneurs design, market, and even create content in local tribal languages? Coming to ecotourism, which is again an extremely important sector for the region. How about AI-driven systems that can help the national park in Assam monitor wildlife and track poaching? What if GenAI can generate immersive VR tours of the Loktak lake in Manipur, giving the global tourist a taste of the floating fundis and traditional fisher folk life? Organic farming, again, is a huge industry in the region and can become even much bigger than what it is today. How about a ginger farmer somewhere in Nagaland can use AI-powered drones to monitor the crop health and get early alerts on pest attacks? How about Jawai in Meghalaya? Smallholders growing turmeric can actually receive GenAI-generated hyper-localized advisories in the local language Khasi, improving yield predictions and water usage through smaller irrigations. There are so many other use cases that you can actually talk about in healthcare, in sustainability, green technologies, so on and so forth. And this really is in the future. A lot of technology is already available as we speak. It's just about applying the right use cases in several sectors and industries within the region and capitalize on the strengths of the region. Now, to all the startup founders or entrepreneurs, young founders in the room, you're not just solving for revenue. You're solving for resilience, for representation, for recognition of the Northeast region on the global map. You're going to be the creators of legacy, and that's what you should keep in mind as you build your ventures. So build with purpose, build with love for your roots, and build knowing that your journey, your grit, and your story will inspire the next wave. And it's not just about the Northeastern region. If you're able to do that, it'll inspire millions and millions of workers and entrepreneurs in the rest of the part of the country who come from tier 2, tier 3 cities from the rural Bharat. So you are not just your job, you're a bridge between tradition and technology, between rockets and roots. Now, before I close, let me say this by all my heart. Don't let your PIN code decide your potential. Dream audaciously, build courageously, lead locally, and scale globally. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, Sir Shri Vaibhav Jain, for the inputs. We will now get to hear from Shri Amit Mishra, VC and Startup Relationships, Yoda Data. Kindly take your time, sir.
So first of all, thank you, NIELIT, and thank you all the dignitaries who invited us, right? As you can see, I don't have notes, right? A backbencher in school. So I will be little prompt. I have been coming to Northeast for the last 11 years, Kohima for the first time. And the reason I keep coming every year, and when I was invited, and they started, there is an event in Kohima, and you will do this. I said, I'm sold on Kohima. I would love to be in Kohima because, see, I personally believe that there is no dearth of smart people in our country, right? Every nook and corner we have very smart people, We are sitting with a lot of smart people. The only challenge I see here, especially in Northeast, the exposure, right? When doctors, when sir was talking about all these companies coming in and, IT, ITS, 10% of the workforce from here, supporting the call center ecosystem and ITS ecosystem. I think that's the exposure we need to change to innovation, right? The other thing which I also want to talk about, and I'm sure all of them will talk about a lot of technology, I would love to talk about mindset. The biggest hindrance in any word, and Vaibhav spoke about it, is coming, and I also came from a small town. The challenge is mindset, right? So if you think that you are not enough, and I know a few people who are sitting on the right side of my, here. I know a lot of them, right? The reason they are here and the reason they're successful is that they never said no, right? I can't do this. And I would request all of you to start thinking that. It's not, your location doesn't really matter, right? What matters is what you are thinking from here. Today, and when we started off, I see a lot of young folks here, when we started off, internet was just starting off. I didn't have a phone when I started my career, right? And I'm working in a company where we are leading AI in this, in India, right? So, and I want to give that example. So I represent Toyota. We are the largest AI infrastructure company in the country right now, the largest data center in the country right now. And it started by the vision of my CEO, who was a corporate guy, right? Like some of us here. And there was Mr. Hiranandani. I'm not sure how many of you know Hiranandani Group, which is a large real estate group in Mumbai, right? If you have been to Powai, that most of it is built by Hiranandani Group. So there was money on one side. They wanted to build something, but they didn't know how, right? It was the vision of Mr. Sunil Gupta, my CEO, who reached out to them. And today we have invested almost 9,000 crore in that ecosystem, right? It was not, so the money was somewhere else. The ideas and wisdom was somewhere else. It was the amalgamation, which actually, whatever we are trying to do here. So the same thing which I will tell you is, you're sitting in Nagaland, don't limit yourself saying that, okay, I'm in Nagaland. There are people I know from this region, and I brought Nongo here, who probably you will listen to. Again, a boy from Nagaland, and he's doing well for himself in Mumbai, right, making the right noises. It's the mindset. It's important for all of us to understand that we are in a place where we can reach out to anybody throughout the world, right? If you have a great idea, reach out to anybody. And this is something which is coming from experiences. If you reach out to people, most of us are ready to help, right? We don't ask. Because in our head, we are already making our stories. We love making stories, is that they will say no. It's already a no, because you have not asked, right? So if you reach out to somebody, and I can guarantee that if you reach out to me, I will at least probably, being busy, I probably will take 48 hours, but I'll respond to you, right? That's a promise from me if you reach out for any help. And I'm sure I can count for some of the folks I know. Reach out to people, right? Don't think that I would not say, at least get validation, right? There are a lot of these great ideas which I keep seeing from Northeast coming there. again, is a limitation. We have a great culture here. I was talking to some entrepreneurs here. We have a great culture, and I think the only place, and I've worked with a lot of state governments, Northeast is the only place where we have a little control of our culture. It's not mixed yet, right? So I think we should be proud of that. I also want to share another story, and I'll let others speak. And this is a story which I talk about every time I talk about entrepreneurship and resilience. So there is a friend of mine from UK who was a private equity guy, shifted to Delhi. This was, I think, 11, 12 years back. And he was taking his 2 kids in metro, the Delhi metro, for the first time, right? So these are like, one was 7, one was 5, 2 kids, father, right? They're enjoying their metro ride. And the younger one saw a person wearing a t-shirt and ship C written there. Okay? And the kid, as a kid asked that, what is a ship doing in the metro? Now this gentleman, right, who was wearing the t-shirt, explained Ship C, which was a startup, to that kid in a language he was able to understand. And the father liked it, gave his card, why don't you come meet me next day? And the next day, he got a 50 lakhs check, right? It was just, so the reason I'm telling you this is, you need to be always ready. You don't know where your next check will come in, right? So you might bump into one of us and he said, I don't think he will have the money. You don't know, right? The other thing which I wanted to talk about was, you saw all of us struggling with wearing jackets, right? All of us were struggling with jackets. But it's not that we have never worn jackets. So it's a struggle for the first time. And I was telling you, there will be struggles. You're building businesses. This was easy. We have been doing this throughout our lives, right? We were still struggling, right? So think of ideas. So don't think struggle as a hindrance. Struggle is your stepping stone. This will make you resilient, right? This will make you confident, because these are the stepping stones which will actually make you success. And Weber has already said enough. But what I want to, what I expect from all of us sitting here and everybody who probably will be watching us, listening to us is, I want not billion-dollar companies coming from here, right? Because so when you hear about unicorns, these are valuations. I want people who are making revenues in billions from Northeast. And I'm 100% sure we can do this. It's all about all of us. We are here together. How can we create this more cohesive ecosystem so that we can bring more people like us to Nagaland, to Northeast, and ensure that we are able to create value from Nagaland for India and for the world. With that note, thank you so much. You've been a lovely audience. I love to talk to all of you, especially the entrepreneurs, while I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shri Amit Mishra, for all the inputs that you shared. Now I would like to call upon Shri Santosh Kumar, National Chairman, YLC AIMF, for the keynote address. Kindly take your time, sir.
So, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here. It's a pleasure to be here. First, I want to also thank the dignitaries on the stage, dignitaries of the stage, and the whole ecosystem out here. What's beautiful in the whole congregation here is there are 4 sets of stakeholders that are really relevant for innovation that I see here. We have the policymakers, we have the industry here, we have the academicians who are here, and the last, which is the most important element for innovation, is the ecosystem that is being built out by founders and the incubators and the supporters of founders, right? So we have all the 4 stakeholders here, and this really marks a great tradition to start any kind of an activity when you're looking at really building a very large trajectory of growth for the region. If you look at Northeast, maybe I'll just probably take a step back and give you a bit of background as to what we do at TIMA. I also have a dual role. I am also the director with SPJMR, which is one of the prominent B schools in India. So I have a unique vantage point of talking to founders, talking to innovation experts across industry, academia, and the larger global arena. One thing that I've seen, I've traveled across the country over the last 12 months. I've literally been to the hinterlands, and there is a great divide that is getting created with the digital inequality, right? We are at the cusp of a stage where if we don't really step up and bridge those gaps, we'll end up having a very difficult time in the coming decades. I'm not giving very flowery oration here. I'm really getting you to all look at the challenges that we face. And Northeast as a region has a very big role to play in it, right? We need to get Northeast to become the bridge to the Southeast Asia for us, and not just the border region for the country, right? We look at Northeast as much, much, much bigger opportunity because we can really conduct larger trade. We can also build innovation out of here. Like my friend Vaibhav mentioned, there are no pin codes to innovation. Innovation can thrive and drive from every part of the world. Let me talk to you about also another interesting aspect that Dr. Tripathi mentioned about the skilling and, Dr. Sena mentioned about the skilling part of it. One important element is I would look at Northeast and I would look at young folks here in the NIELIT campus as well to become job creators. India currently needs more job creators than job seekers. While skilling will enable you to become that, I would want that whole energy aspect of building or the culture of building new ventures to come from the grassroots level, because the problem statements are very unique to Northeast that can be only solved by somebody who's here, who's seen the challenges, who understands, who empathizes with the local populace and can really build for them. There can't be an innovation which is one size fits all. That doesn't augur well for the country, that doesn't augur well for the world. Today we are at a juncture where India is seen as the powerhouse of innovation. I come from Bangalore, and Bangalore about 30 years back in my early college days was seen as a sort of a pensioner's paradise. That's what we used to call Bangalore as, right? And if Bangalore could do that in about 2 decades and become the powerhouse of technology and really build innovation for the world, I don't see why Northeast cannot do that, right? We didn't have the resources that you are getting in today because the government is really, really pushing in. The industry is walking with you hand in hand. The ecosystem from the startup world is rearing to come and support you all. I want to see, I'm really excited to see that a lot of innovation there are 35 startups that are going to pitch today in the second half. I also saw the startup hub that is being inaugurated today. There's plenty of potential that can be built from the local angle as well. Now, what's so special about Northeast? Northeast has a very interesting diaspora, which has been successful in other parts of the country, other parts of the world, right? Can we bring back the alumni of the Northeast to really come back here and build that connections to help build better businesses, right? Can we do that? I think NIELIT is already taken the first steps in bringing that diaspora back. When I say diaspora, don't take it in the wrong sense. I'm looking at the Northeastern culture that is out there can also become our soft power. And can we really bring in the kind of energy and excitement that our previous Northeastern folks who come out and built it out, and can that become an inspiration for all of you? Right. So a couple of other things I just want to sort of bring to your attention is the unique geography of Northeast also creates a set of challenges, but also it's a great opportunity to build for the local challenges, right? So whenever there's a challenge, in my life I've seen that every challenge is becoming a stepping stone for us, and that can become a great business opportunity as well. Now, when you look at the next wave of innovation, the world is looking at India and India is looking at Northeast. Can you build something really meaningful for the current challenges that you're facing? It could be in terms of the drone technology, which can really connect or take care of any of the geographical challenges. You have great biodiversity. Can you use that to your advantage and create medicinal value, create biological value that can really outperform the larger companies and the countries in the world? Can you build something from the edges from places like Kohima, Imphal, Shillong and beyond that can really become the blueprint? About 20 years back, or even about 10 years back, I've been from the banking world. The world did not see India as a behemoth in the fintech side, right? There was no expectation that India could build anything meaningful, worthwhile in the fintech or the financial technologies world, right? Because it felt like it was already taken over by the Visas and the MasterCards in the US, and there's not much play to do. But also China had sort of leapfrogged us in the QR code wallet system. Was there any opportunity for us to build? And today, if you look at it, a decade later, we are really the driving force for the whole world. We run about 80% of the global digital payments in the country. So if India can do that in any of these certain specific sectors, I'm pretty sure that Northeast has certain sectors where it can really drive. It could be in terms of the ecotourism, it could be in terms of the mesh network technologies, it could be in terms of strengthening our border areas, strengthening the trade, it could be also in terms of the organic farming technology or the cultural benefit that you have, or the wisdom that is built out here that can be really built across for the globe as well. Right. One other specific action that I want to bring to your attention, I want you all to look at from the Northeastern side is, can entrepreneurship become a retention strategy for the talent that you have in the Northeast? Right? A lot of Northeastern students come to other parts of the country for education. Can that be bridged with digital education today? Right? Can you build it here? Can you bring in the right kind of academic professors, talents, and faculty from other parts of the world to deliver education in the Northeast, built and exposed here, and can those young folks build better startups out of here? Entrepreneurship as a retention strategy is something that I really see that Northeast has a very good edge on it. Other aspect is also to look at the sustainable development. Right? At WiseTech, which is one of my innovation centers at SPJMR, what we look at is, while innovation is really, really important, but can we have a wise innovation built out of the country, right? While I just want to take an example of Facebook, for example, you remember the likes, the thumb that was coming out? It also created, while it was pushing in a very interesting way of communication, but also created a lot of depressive minds and people started going into the shell, right? So when we build innovation, we preach, we work with the students, we work with various young entrepreneurs. We also want to tell them, that can you build in something that is more wise enough, responsible enough for the location that you're building, for the country you're building, for the society you're building. It's very important to start imbibing that culture of triple bottom. We not just look at profits, we also look at the planet and the people. Are we impacting the right elements for the people? Are we impacting the society in a positive way? Is there a net positive drive that we are doing while we are building innovation? So these are some of the takeaways that I want to leave you with. At Northeast, if you're building, I think it's going to be very interesting to create a new mold of innovation here, which is responsible innovation, sustainable, as well as profitable from day one, and not just looking at venture capitalist money to create barriers of entry for other entrepreneurs. I want to leave you with a final thought. Northeast is on the fringes of India's growth story. Is it true? No. Northeast is actually going to be the driver or the frontier of India's innovation. And I really want to see many more entrepreneurs come in here and create that retention strategy of talent here. And meanwhile, we are all, I think all of us from here on the stage as well off the stage, we have many more resource people who are really willing to support the entrepreneurs. I really want to congratulate the NIELIT and the government of Nagaland and the government of India to put up this whole conference here. I think it means a lot to initiate these conferences because this will create the stepping stones for the real innovation that can happen from here, the responsible innovation that we can see from here. And also I want to see more job creators. I'm hoping that Northeast can really create a blueprint of job creators and not just job seekers here. Thank you, Jai Hind.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have heard from all 4 of our keynote speakers with their address, and I hope that over the next 3 days, as participants and students exchange dialogues and ideas with our resource person, participants and students will learn valuable lessons and also create ideas, and that will take us all to achieve greater heights. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in the presence of our Honorable Vice Chancellor and Director General NIELIT, we will now proceed to the exchange of MOU between NIELIT and industry academia. First up, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to request our Director, Mr. L. Lanuapang, Director NIELIT Kohima, and Mr. Sandeep Sadesan, CEO Vignan DPI, to exchange the MOU between Vignan DBI and NIELIT Kohima. Ladies and gentlemen, a strategic partnership to boost startup incubation and market across access for Northeastern innovations with support from Vignan DBI's national ecosystem. This MOU is exchanged between Mr. L. Lanuapang, Director, NIELIT, Kohima, Guwahati, and Shillong, and Mr. Sandeep Sadesan, CEO of Vignan DBI. Next, ladies and gentlemen, an MOU will be exchanged between NIELIT Kohima and SBJIMR Mumbai. This is a collaboration to strengthen institutional capacity, enable joint training, and offer curated mentors access to emerging startups in the region. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause. And now, ladies and gentlemen, an MOU between NIELIT Kohima and ACIC IIT ISM Dhanpad. This exchange will be between Mr. L. Lanuapang, Director NIELIT, and Professor Soumya Singh, Director ACIC IIT ISM Foundation. This exchange will focus on alliance to promote grassroots innovations, community-led entrepreneurship, and co-host regional capacity building programs. Thank you so much, sir. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we will now move forward to the Northeast Startup Catalyst Program, which is a certificate ceremony. To build a thriving entrepreneurial culture in the Northeast, NIELIT Kohima recently launched the Northeast Startup Catalyst Program, which is a structured startup skilling and acceleration initiative designed to empower early-stage ventures with business acumen, mentorship, funding readiness, and national ecosystem exposure. As a result, 25+ startups have already been created and incubated through this initiative, many of which are solving grassroots problems with scalable, tech-enabled solutions. With participation from leading incubators and experts across India, the program reflects NIELIT's commitment to not only digital skilling, but also innovation-led development. The Northeast Startup Catalyst Program, spearheaded by NIELIT Kohima under the aegis of the Ministry and Electronics and IT, MeitY, Government of India, has been a milestone initiative to empower emerging entrepreneurs from the Northeast regions. Ladies and gentlemen, I now call upon Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to ask our Director General, Honorable Sir, to kindly give away the certificate program, and I would like to also ask the nodal officer, as I call out the name of the district, I would like to ask one of the nodal officers to kindly come forward and receive the certificate. Okay. I would like to ask the Kohima Region Nodal Officer to kindly come forward and receive the certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, next up, we have from Aizawl sector. I would like to request the Aizawl sector nodal officer to kindly come forward and receive the certificate. From Aizawl, we have 5 startups registered. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from NIELIT Imphal, I would like to request the nodal officer to kindly come forward. I would also like to ask NIELIT Guwahati nodal officer to kindly be ready. I would also like to ask the nodal officer from Sikkim sector to kindly come forward and receive this certificate. You may. Thank you, sir. You can take your seats. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we will now be hearing from our honored guests an address by Dr. Matan Mohan Tripathi, Honorable Vice Chancellor and Director General. Please take your time, sir.
So, very good morning to all of you. On this occasion, I am delighted to extend my warm greetings and appreciation to the NIELIT Kohima Center for organizing the Innovation Northeast Week, Tech Age and Digital Transformation, which is going to be here for 3 days from today to 28th May 2025 in collaboration with the Department of Information Technology and Communications and its startup, Nagaland, under the Department of Industries and Commerce, Government of Nagaland. At the outset, I wish to recognize and extend my sincere gratitude to the distinguished dignitaries, our Secretary, MeitY, Sri S. Krishnan, who was very much keen to come here in Kohima, but due to a pressing meet with PMO, he could not join. Dr. Gi Hua Sema, IRS, Commissioner and Secretary, IT and Communication, Government of Nagaland. Ms. Tulika Pandey, Scientist G and Group Coordinator, MeitY, Government of India. Director IT, Nagaland State. Dr. Satya and Sri Joseph from MeitY. Sri Vaibhav Jain, VC and Startup Relations, Google India. Sri Amit Mishra from IOTA Data. Sri Abhishek, Director STPI Kohima. Sri Santosh Kumar, National Chairman YLC IMA. Dr. Yannam Jayanta Singh, Executive Director NIELIT Imphal. Sri Lanu Abank, Director NIELIT Kohima. Professor Soumya Singh from IIT ISM Dhanbad. Sri Anubhav Tiwari, Chief Innovation Officer of NIELIT. Sri Abhishek Kausal. Sri Guneet, Anish Batra, Sri Anurag Majumdar, all senior government officials, my colleague, directors from NIELIT, MeitY officials, representatives from many companies and startups who are here, the entrepreneurs, my dear students. I'm really honored to have with us an inspiring lineup of thought leaders, industry experts, startup founders, policymakers, and academic luminaries from across the country and beyond. Their diverse expertise from cybersecurity, quantum computing, and AI to policy, media, and innovation adds immense value to this event and reflects the vibrant and collaborative spirit of Innovation Northeast Week. Maybe 2 years back, or 1.5 years back, before Sri Anubhav Tiwari joined us as Chief Innovation Officer, NIELIT was not on the innovation landscape of the country. I would like to thank him from here for all his contributions made to NIELIT and bringing so many people and startups to the Northeast. So he looks like Gandhi. And before, him, another Gandhian was here in Nagaland. Sri Natwar Thakkar ji, I have met him. He and his wife both are Padam Shri Awardee. They came 8 years back to Nagaland and started working in a remote village called Chuchuimlang in Nagaland, where we have an NIELIT center also with his efforts. And he has opened a Gandhi ashram. So now we have seen another Gandhi for Nagaland. So I would like to thank him and all the team members. I took the name, and some I know directly, some of them I know indirectly who are here. And I also would like to thank Sri Lanu Opang and all my directors of the Northeast who have played a key role in bringing such kind of culture and ecosystem in the Northeast. So I request to you to, applaud them with the claps also. The Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, MeitY, is deeply committed to fostering inclusive and equitable growth in the digital domain across all regions of the country. For the northeastern state, MeitY has taken deliberate steps to ensure that the region is not left behind in the digital revolution. Our Honorable Minister says while inaugurating the NIELIT deemed to university from Guwahati that Northeast is the new India. So that's a policy of Government of India, and that is the focus of Government of India in the Northeast, be it through infrastructure development, entrepreneurship support, or digital skilling. Our vision is to bridge regional disparities and unlock the full innovation potential of this culturally rich and strategically important region. NIELIT, as the capacity building and skilling arm of MeitY, has been playing a pivotal role in building the human capital required for India's digital economy. As we have seen last year when India was chairing the G20, digital skilling was one of the most important parameters in the digital economic work group. So digital economy work group was having only 3 agendas: cyber security, DPI, and the digital skilling. And that is a recognition for the importance of the digital skills. And any industry, when they want to come to India now or any part of the India, their first question is if we get the skilled manpower for our unit. So that's a question, and we need to answer that. And NIELIT is one of the important organizations in the country which is now working as a skilling partner for all the industries, especially in the emerging technologies. Recently, a landmark achievement for NIELIT has been received when it becomes a deemed to be university with 12 campuses. The main campus is at Roper and 11 constituent campuses. Out of these 12, 5 are in the Northeast. This makes NIELIT one of its kind institution in the country that offers a complete skilling program starting from school level up to the PhD level. So only organization in the country which is generating a skilled manpower at every level of the pyramid, if it is higher level or middle level or at the lower level of the pyramid. Recently, a MOU has been signed with Tata Electronics to strengthen the semiconductor skilling ecosystem in India with a focus on training and educating youth from the Northeast region for employment in the assembly, testing, marking, and packaging sector. We all know that at Jagi Road, Assam, the OSAT plant of Tata is being set up. Government has recognized the potential of NIELIT, and we have been allotted 10-acre land near the plant where the new university campus is coming with an advanced center of excellence in advanced packaging. And all the youth from the Northeast will be trained and they'll be employed with the Tata plant. So that is the concept on which we are working right now. So we are in a position to, in few years, to provide a huge employment opportunity for the youth of the Northeast in their own state, or you can say in the Northeast region. Under India AI mission, we are creating 27 AI data lab. Out of that, 8 are in the Northeast, or 9 I think in the Northeastern states, 1 in every state, 2 in Assam. And these all 27 India AI lab will be hub for the AI training in the country. All the leaders in AI, NVIDIA, Intel, they have partnered with us. Their programs will be delivered and they will be available to all the students of this region. They will get support to develop many models, use cases, data, and I look for the support from all of you to provide more support to these students. And maybe we can see very interesting products coming out of these labs. The NIELIT centers in the Northeastern region have been actively doing the skilling, capacity building, and technical education in alignment with governments of India vision, supported by Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology in various project mode. Among them, NIELIT Kohima has taken a lead role in executing key initiative, making significant contribution to project implementation across the northeastern states. I'll request you to see the cyber forensic facilities here. It is one of the best state-of-art cyber forensic facility available, and this is being used for training youth through virtual mode. Let me credit NIELIT Kohima. Then recently they have completed one batch in Egypt also through online mode. So a lot of international recognition they are getting for their cyber forensic training. It's a very mature training, and let me tell you that NIELIT as a whole is winner of 1 year DSCI Excellence Award in the capacity building in cyber security, and continuously last year we are among top 3. So that is our main commitment to the cyber security training, the semiconductor and AI, because we see all these 3 technologies interdependent. We can't separate out AI and cyber security and semiconductors today. So our Center of Excellence in Chip Designing in Noida, they are developing a lot of LLMs for improving the EDA flows, which can help to fasten the design of semiconductors maybe 10 times. So there are interdependency, and then you talk about secure chips. And then you need, the edge computing, which is AI based. And then again, you need some chips for that, so that you can have, all the decisions making at the edge. So all these 3 technologies are interdependent. We are working in all these 3 technologies through various centers. Under this Northeastern Capacity Building Project, NSCB 2.0, which is supported by MeitY, over 1.71 lakh individuals have been trained or skilled across various segments of the society, including government, school teachers, dropouts, and farmers in the Northeast in last 2 years, which is huge achievement under this project. Out of these, 105,048 students have got the placement also. A focused effort has also been made to build entrepreneurial ecosystem across the northeastern region. One such initiative is the Northeast Startup Catalyst Program implemented by NIELIT, which successfully skilled, mentored, and supported 25 startups from the region. And today we have seen that we have given certificate to these startups. These startups received not only training in core business practices, but also mentorship from industry leaders, exposure to investors, and guidance on leveraging emerging technologies. Few of these startups have already achieved early stage success, and this event is a celebration of their journey and achievements. The Innovation Northeast Week provides a comprehensive platform where startups connect with industry leaders and investors. Government officials explore the real-world AI and cybersecurity applications. Students participate in workshop, ideation challenges, and pitchathons. So this holistic format is a model for future engagements where policy, innovation, talent coverage is made. I've also seen some of the startups. They are doing good, but I think they need more support. Because bringing something in the form of a product and selling them and becoming a big company altogether need a lot of support. And I believe that all the mentors who are here, they will support those startups also. So finally, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to all organizers, partners, and participants. I'm confident that this event will spark new collaborations, skill impactful ideas, and accelerate the digital transformation journey of the Northeast. Let's continue to work together to build a digitally empowered India where opportunity is inclusive, innovation is encouraged, and technology is transformative. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, Honorable Vice Chancellor and Director General NIELIT, Dr. Matan Mohan Tripathi. Indeed, we are honored to have your presence with us in this event. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now move forward to the address by our special guest, Shri S. Krishnan, IAS, Secretary, MeitY, Government of India. Although he could not be here with us in person due to an official engagement, we will now be hearing his address. Ladies and gentlemen, we seem to have a technical error, but that will be fixed in just a short while.
Event. Good morning to all of you. First and foremost, let me apologize for my inability to be present in person in Kohima for this very important event. This event, organized by the National Institute of Electronics and Information Technology, NIELIT, as a 3-day event on innovation and startups in Kohima, is extremely significant and has great relevance to the mission of both the Ministry of Good morning to all of you. First and foremost, let me apologize for my inability to be present in person in Kohima for this very important event. This event, organized by the National Institute of Electronics and Information Technology, NIELIT, as a 3-day event on innovation and startups in Kohima, is extremely significant and has great relevance to the mission of both the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology and to what all is happening with regard to the developments in the northeast of the country. It gives me great pleasure that NIELIT has been able to organize this event. I congratulate both NIELIT and the government of Nagaland and with all its agencies, including Startup Nagaland and the Department of Industries, for having put this event together. The significance of the event shouldn't be lost on anybody. I am aware that Nagaland is progressing in a number of areas where innovation and startups are taking place, be it in the kind of food processed products which are being prepared, be it in tourism, be it in various other kinds of services which are being offered remotely. Nagaland has considerable potential. It has distinct advantages of having a population which is comfortable in English. It has people with a number of skills which can be substantially marketed in India today, and not just in India but everywhere on the globe. Hence, the potential of the state is tremendous, and which is why it is important that the most modern skills and the most updated skills reach the people of the state. The Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology is very directly focused on bringing technology to the Northeast. Of our total number of almost 55 NIELIT centers across India, 20 of them are in the Northeast, and Kohima is one of the most active centers we have here. In addition, other agencies of MeitY, including the Software Technology Parks of India, STPI, and CDAC, all of them have presence in the Northeast. And in addition, MeitY directly has supported governments in the Northeast in a number of IT-related ventures. The biggest program that we are doing in the Northeast today is the new semiconductor facility which is being set up near Guwahati. And the intent of the Government of India, the intent of MeitY, is to ensure that this facility in Guwahati and all the other attendant industries around it offer employment primarily to the people from the region. And therefore, NIELIT in its mission is attempting to train increasingly a larger number of youth from the Northeast, including from Nagaland, in order for them to find jobs in the Northeast itself to the extent possible and service the economy of the country and service the economy of the world. This is truly a win-win situation which digital technologies offer, and the possibility of actually operating from wherever one lives through digital means is what we are trying to used to a substantially greater extent in order to benefit the people and enable them to live closer to their roots. And this is a huge opportunity that I believe the people in the state should actually utilize. This 3-day session will enable many more such opportunities to be actually explored and taken advantage of, and ways found by which people and especially the youth of the state can benefit from. There is a program for capacity building in the Northeast, which is being implemented by NIELIT, and I'm very glad to inform this audience that close to 1.79 lakh youth have been trained under this phase 2 of the Northeast capacity building program of NIELIT, which has been sponsored by MeitY. Likewise, as I already pointed out, many of our centers are located in this part of the world, and as a result, we've been able to ensure that the capacity building in this area is given adequate emphasis. And now, as I already pointed out, we are going to bring in industry also into this area to make sure that those who are trained in areas like electronics and information technology receive employment in the area. And if they are not directly employed, they can be self-employed through pursuing entrepreneurship as their option and their passion. And entrepreneurship in its own way results in many of these youth providing employment to others, and that is again a space which needs to be explored fully in this part of India, and this is
Ladies and
clearly
gentlemen,
part of
as
the
we
mission of
now
MeitY to
come
make sure
towards
that
the end
all
of
of you
the
benefit
inaugural
from
part of the
our
program,
programs,
I would now like to
and
give
our
the time
programs
to
are
Sri
inclusive and
Daniel
diverse
Menon,
in
who
a
is the
way that
Additional Director,
benefits
NIELIT,
people
Kohima, for a
from
vote of
every part of
thanks.
the country. I'm sure you will take full advantage of this 3-day event,
Good morning to all of you
and
once
you
again.
will derive full benefit from
As
it.
we draw
And I look
the
forward to
curtain
hearing
this
reports
inaugural
of the
session
success
of
of
this
not just
Innovation
this
Week,
event, but also
it is my
recommendations
privilege
for
and honor
what
to deliver
further
this
MeitY
vote
can
of
do
thanks
in the
on
area
behalf of NIELIT,
to improve
Kohima.
employability.
First and foremost, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our special guest, Shri S. Krishna, IAS Secretary, MeitY, Government of India, even though not present here today, was kind enough to share his valuable message, showing his deep love and concern for this event. We are truly grateful to him. We are also very deeply honored by the presence of Professor Dr. Madan Mohan Tripathi, Director General and Honorable Vice Chancellor of NIELIT. Sir, your unwavering support and vision have always inspired us to scale new heights. Also, another big shout out to Ma'am Tulika Pandey, Scientist G and Group Coordinator, MeitY, for her encouraging support and exhortation through her online presence today. Our big and sincere appreciation also goes to Dr. G. Hukuka Sema, Commissioner and Secretary, IT&C, Government of Nagaland, for his continued encouragement and for championing this technology-driven growth in the region. Another warm thanks to Engineer Sabu, Director, IT&C, for your support and partnering in organizing such a big event. We hope that this partnership will go a long way in fostering and developing our state in the field of IT and emerging technologies. I would also like to thank our esteemed keynote speakers, Shri Vaibhav Jain, Shri Amit Mishra, and Shri Santosh Kumar. Your words have enriched the gathering and offered fresh perspective on innovation, startups, and the digital age. We would also like to express gratitude to all our industry and ecosystem partners who have joined hands in launching the Spark Hub and the Startup Exhibition. Your collaboration and trust in our vision truly reflect the spirit of digital transformation that we aim to foster through this event. A special mention to all the MOU partners from industry and academia. Today's exchange is not merely ceremonial, but a commitment to collaborate, co-create, and empower. To the participants of the Northeast Startup Catalyst Program, congratulations once again. May this be the first of many recognition in your innovation journey. I would like to thank all our panelists and facilitators who will be continuing with sessions later on throughout the day. Your time and expertise are invaluable to us. To our tireless organizing team at NIELIT Kohima, thank you for your meticulous efforts and seamless coordination that brought this vision to life. Finally, to each one of you present here, dignitaries, speakers, startup founders, government officials, media, and all the participants, thank you for your presence and enthusiastic participation. Your engagement is what this Innovation Northeast Week truly meaningful. So as we move forward into a day filled with high-level panels, workshops, and startup pitches, I invite you all to continue building connections and exchanging ideas. With that, I once again thank you all and wish you an inspiring and impactful event 2025. Thank you.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of the inaugural program of Innovation Any Week, Tech Edge, and Digital Transformation. Ladies and gentlemen, over the next 3 days, we wish, on behalf of NIELIT Kohima, we wish the participants, our resource speakers, and our students as well, a good luck for the upcoming days. I would also like to let the press and media know that there is a conference hall just outside of the room there, and there will be a press briefing in the presence of Honorable Vice Chancellor and Director General NIELIT. Also, there is high tea prepared for all of us here. So for the VVIPs and dignitaries and resource person, along with the director of NIELIT, they will be directed towards the cafeteria, which is at the ground floor. And for the rest of our dignitaries and guests present here, it is arranged outside here at the balcony. Kindly take part in the refreshment as well. Thank you so much for being a part of the inaugural program. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Reminder once again to all of the press present here, there will be a press briefing immediately outside at the conference hall in the presence of the Honorable Vice Chancellor and Director General of NIELIT. No, I'm from media. I work in the media. Yes. A reminder once again for the press and the media team, there is a press briefing that is about to happen at the conference hall just outside of the auditorium. You can kindly proceed towards the press briefing.